What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, Appalachian Smokewagon. Thanks for clicking on the video. Today we're talking Spyderco again. It's my favorite knife maker. I have several of them now. I think I'm up to 12 or 13 Spydercos. And those were all acquired this year. I got bit by the Spyderco bug and it bit me good. I really like the brand. I like the USA made Spydercos. That's the only ones I've really messed with. I have got with one fake. There's videos on that. And then I also bought a clone from Temu just to see the quality. And it was a Paramilitary 3. And there's a few differences. It actually runs on bearings instead of phosphor bronze washers, and just a weird clone. But anyways, today we're talking about Manix 2s, and these are my Manix 2s. We got 3 Manix 2s, 2 lightweights, a G10, and then we have a Manix 2 XL, and we're going to go over those. I'm going to show you guys, and let me know which one you like the best in the comments below. We'll start with this. This started life as a Manix 2 lightweight salt. These come with the gray FRN plastic scales. I think it's fiberglass reinforced nylon, if I'm not mistaken. But to show that it was a salt model, they're like a bright yellow, like a yellow, and they're work knives. They're made to work in saltwater environments, wet environments, anything where you don't want your knives to rust. They come with a Magna Cut steel blade, which is super stain resistant. If I can get it to show, CPM Magna Cut. This is a very stainless high-end steel, very sharp, holds the edge fairly well. These are AWT skinny scales. You can see the humps cut out right there. That's what makes them skinny scales. To be honest, I really prefer the hump there. Just for my hand, for my ergos, I do prefer the hump being there, but I can work with these scales. We've got the AWT scales. We've got a titanium slotted ball cage. And we have the Flytanium ceramic ball inserted in here. If you don't know, there's a little ball that rides in this ball cage. That's why this is called a ball cage. And it runs on a spring. It's spring loaded. You pull it back, and your ball is your detent. Your ball falls into this slot right here, and a slot back here. It's got a super strong lock-up detent. Very hard to break. It's not going to open in your pocket. You can get a lightweight spring. I have tried the lightweight spring, and it makes the detent very weak when you put the lightweight spring in it. So I opt to stay with the factory springs and just use the ball cage. The AWT scales do give you some jimping here, and the traction on the titanium ball cage is really aggressive. You really get a good purchase on that. This knife, to get it without any blade play with these scales, with this setup, this has to be fairly tight, so you don't get, you got to swing it to get it to shut. It's not super tight. You can still flick it and all that. You can flick it closed, but you don't get that buttery smooth drop shut with this one right here, this particular one. We do have the blue and silver Lynch pocket clip. I think it goes with this build very nicely. And all in all, super cool knife. Hard use knife, good blade steel, very rigid, very lightweight, very lightweight. These scales don't add much over the yellow FRN scales. Next we'll go to a one of my favorite knives. This was another lightweight. This was the Big Brown Bear CPM 15V Sprint Run Spyderco Lightweight Manix 2. You can see it's the CPM 15V, and right now this is my favorite blade steel. I'm trying to collect as many of these as I can. Right now I have 3 Spydercos with CPM 15V, but this one probably being my favorite. These are the same scales that were on the salt version. These are just the Cerakote model. They were out of the anodized. I would rather have the anodized because you can see these are already wearing. The Cerakote's wearing off, and that's going to happen just because the nature of Cerakote, it's not going to last long. It's going to get some wear and tear on it, because this is a hard use knife, and the 15V is an awesome blade steel. This blade steel has excellent edge retention. It's the best blade steel that I have in any of my Spydercos for edge retention. If you just run this thing across a strop every couple days, this baby stays hair wiping sharp. But this came with the brown FRN scales. Most of the Big Brown Bear Spyderco 15V knives have the brown colorway on the scales. I just love the feel of these. Just metal. I like the metal feel more than plastic. We do have the titanium ball cage in this. This just has the tritium insert, so if your knife's laying on the table at nighttime, the tritium lights up, kind of like night sights on a pistol. You got 2 tritium inserts in the slots here. You still got the great traction, but I did have trouble getting this knife to work. And if you've seen any of my truck talk videos from, I don't know how far back it'll be, but there's a couple videos of me talking in the truck about this knife, and the specs of this slot right here were off a little bit, I guess. I thought at first it was just the thickness of the Cerakote, but I got the Cerakote out of there and it still wouldn't work. I actually had to file this ball cage down quite a bit to get it to work in these. And I know it was the slot in the scales, because I took everything out of this knife and put it in these scales and it worked perfectly. So that's when I knew I had to file this down a little bit. But we have got it filed and have got it working perfectly. This baby is drop shutty, buttery smooth, zero blade play, zero. I mean, that thing is tight, excellent action. It's a super cool and fun knife. I plan on carrying this knife a good bit. The Manix 2 is probably my favorite USA made Spyderco. I used to think it was the paramilitary 2, but once I got introduced to the Manix 2s, I just love this design. I love the blade shape. Full flat grind, and this knife is so sharp. This thing is so super duper sharp. Super cool knife. Lynch pocket clip. I have a lot of Lynch pocket clips. I have a couple MXG pocket clips as well. They're a little more budget friendly, but excellent quality, and I kind of like the MXG pocket clips. Let's see if I got one here. Yeah, there's an MXG. I really like this pocket clip as well. I like both of them. But when it comes to pocket clips, I want it to really grip my pocket. And that's one thing about the factory Spyderco clips. I don't really like the looks for them, but these spoon clips, they really grip your pocket. Your knife's not coming out of your pocket. And same with the Lynch. They really grab your pocket. I won't put a pocket clip on my knife unless it's gripping my pocket super tight, because I don't want to go around and lose a $200 knife. That would really suck. So I try to use good pocket clips. If you have any questions, or if I'm leaving anything out about these knives that you want to know, just leave it in the comments. Blade centering is, it looks like it's a little bit off to the clip side. Not much. But overall, super happy with the way this build turned out, and very happy with the way the action turned out. Next we'll go to the G10 model. This is a factory knife. Nothing's been changed on this yet. I do have titanium scales coming for this. I have a black aluminum titanium ball cage, ceramic ball coming for this. What else? Got a MXG pocket clip coming for this, designed for the Manix. Because if you put one that's not designed for the Manix on here, it sticks over the edge a little bit, and I'm a little bit OCD, and I can't stand for it to stick over the edge right there, so I ordered one specifically for the Manix 2. This is like a base model Manix 2. We have the CPM S30V blade steel, which is a really good knife blade steel. Perfect for EDC, very sharp, holds an edge. Nothing like the 15V, but still a good blade steel. Great blade profile. I will update on a video whenever I get the titanium scales and the ball cage and all that for this. Really, honestly, I'm thinking about putting my 15V blade in this with the titanium scales, just because like I said, I like a heavier knife, and once I get all the stuff for this knife, I will probably put this blade in this knife, if that's even possible. I haven't really researched it yet, if you can put a lightweight blade in a G10 model, but I'm pretty sure that you can. We'll find out when I get all the stuff for this knife and get to tinkering with it. Like I said, this knife is factory. Very sharp from the factory. Every Spyderco I've ever got from the factory is super duper sharp. Got your aggressive jimping up here. You got your aggressive jimping down here in your finger choil. You can grip this knife so many ways. Just a super cool knife. This is the factory ball cage. It's plasticky. It don't feel so great, but I guess that's how Spyderco keeps their costs down, by using these parts, because they know most people is going to go to the aftermarket and replace it. So not much grip on that, but it does work, and it would last. So yeah, there's the G10 model, base model. The G10 scales are really grippy. Just a cool knife. And this is the big boy here, the Manix 2 XL. For size comparison, you can see how much bigger the XL is than the regular. This is a very, very big knife. This is a MXG gear pocket clip, super long for the extra large knife. Grips the pocket very well. I don't carry this knife a whole lot because it is so big. For blade comparison, you can see the size difference in the blades. The XL is a good bit bigger than the standard size. This is the Spyderco CPM Spy 27, a really good blade steel for folding knives. This one we have the titanium copper. Once again, I like copper, I like brass, silver. I love metals. And when I ordered this, I had no idea, but you can see right there the Spyder, if you turn it in the light a certain way. The spider on this one has a copper look, so it kind of matches the copper ball cage. Super cool. Super cool knife. Really like it. It's everything the Manix 2 has, just stretched out a little bit. Really good action on this knife as well. Drop shutty. That big blade just falls right shut. And everything else about this knife is pretty much the same as this knife, just bigger. Blade centering, pretty spot on this XL. Super awesome knife. So if you like a bigger knife, get the XL, because even the standard size Manix is a pretty big knife. Cut pretty much anything you need them to cut. Probably my favorite Spyderco to date, Manix 2. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions about any of the knives on here, just let me know in the comments. That's all I got for you today. Until the next video, Smoke Wagon out.